we'll do a quick recap so that everyone is up to scratch. Unfortunately, Corgi was not here, but we did role play Corgi as if he was here. Last session, we started off right up where we left the previous session, where you guys came out of the rundown house after slaughtering the Shadowhounds and finding a very strange orb artifact underneath the building. Coming out and getting harassed and essentially taxed by some Draskin guards who had been sent here to collect seemingly that item specifically. After passing the item in a very swift and deft manner using an old magician's trick into the hands of the captain, his bare hands, he completely conked out and went limp to the ground, and that caused the guards to erupt into a defensive status. At this point, two of the guards ingested something, and both of them exploded in bursts of energy and transformed into these kind of flaming humanoid energy forms, and they started killing their own men and coming straight for the orb and you guys. At which point, an assassin, some sort of assassin, came in and began to lay into these two guys, seemingly knowing exactly what she was doing combat wise. DUSAN recognized this person, and after taking them out, she told you to run. That they would be sending somebody, and you should get out of there, and that you would talk soon. At that point, you managed to get the cart and start wheeling around and making your way back to the trade district, realizing that you may be in a little bit of trouble as at least two of the guards escaped your little interaction. You put on some disguises and headed through the gates. Very using your charm, Zen, just strolling through. You all pretended that you were, high folk, out late at night exploring when you shouldn't be, basically, living the low life and seeing what it's like. So they ushered you back inside, and you made your way to Basrick's place. Oh yeah, no, I did miss that part. During the conflict, there was obviously the orb dropped to the ground in the hands of the captain, and Corgi, seeing it drop, dove for it, completely forgetting that it needs to be. You can't make direct contact with it with a natural, a critical miss, and basically, which with your intelligence is a -1. And so you just baseball dove for it like you were trying to go safe, and just it was sliding, knocked on it, knocked out immediately. Then, in the panic, I mean, this whole conflict was completely panicked, and I'll be honest, without Corgi as a centralizing figure, it didn't seem like a lot of people didn't really know what to do. So there was a lot of like running in different directions. At that point, seeing that Corgi was unconscious with the orb and that it was all scattered, Zen decided to dive and try and pull Corgi. Essentially, well, I'm not entirely sure what the goal was, but the idea was to bring the party back and save Corgi as much as possible. So both Corgi, well, it was Corgi, Zen, and this guy were all transported to this strange realm for a short period. Zen was pulled off of the orb by both Zen 2 and I think MAEVE, if I remember correctly, trying to pull Zen off. And they managed to get him off the orb, but both Corgi and the captain were stuck. They tried to help Corgi get off the orb, and they did help quite a lot. So like it was easier for Corgi to let go. But unfortunately, with the captain was completely drained. And during this whole fight, the orb was just getting louder and louder and brimming with more and more power and pulsing faster and faster, until the point there was a large flash and like pulse of energy, and the light went dim, the orb went cold, and Corgi was nowhere to be seen. There was a slight interrogation of Zen, who seemed to have no idea what where like where he was. He says maybe it was in the orb. He said seems to know as much as you do. However, he does believe that the person who is trapped seemingly inside the orb is deserves to be free, as far as he's concerned. So I think that was it. Did I miss anything else? I think that's everything.